You know, that's crazy how when you be at these jobs, you become the most hated. But then they can't say nothing bad about you. They know that you got a good heart, you got a pretty face, a pretty smile, your vibe is raw, you do what you got to do. You make sure you go above and beyond for people. You go that extra mile to make people feel seen, heard, and believed in. And you do the whole 9 yards. And then you got these certain particular people over here that's mad because you doing the 9 yards while they at 3 plus. And they mad because you going the whole 9 yards. I mean, one time I didn't told this story before, but one time I was working at this bank and this woman coming in there that need to cash her check. It was a Friday day. Her check was like $50 or $60. She brought her brother in there because she couldn't speak English. I needed a photo ID. She didn't have it. She had to leave and come back before we closed, and she left and came right back with her photo ID. Her brother was speaking for her because she was unable to speak English. And my co-worker was like, girl, you a good one. I would have been sent their ass out of here. I wouldn't have never tried to figure out that shit. It's Friday. I'm trying to go home. She like you a good one. Just tell them you can't do it. You did. And I had to tell them, look, I got this. I don't need nobody in my space telling me how to do things, where to do them it, and I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I gotta do. I know what I can't do, and I know what I'm going to try my hardest to do, and that's get this woman her check cash. If she left this place and she came back with a $60 check, and she came back on a Friday night and with a baby on her hip, that means she need that little money for something. And if I got to give it to her out of my own pocket, I will. That's just the God in me. God know who I am as a person. And if somebody ever see me in that situation, I pray to God that they're going to support me in a way that I need to be supporting me. And every time I need support, God show up for me. It be a random stranger. It be things that happen to me out of the blue. And I be like, dang, who this for? God, who this for? And he be like, you remember you did this? Here you go. And when they made it seem like, I was doing such a horrible job trying to support a person, I knew then those were my type of people. Like, y'all don't see this. Y'all don't see what I see. This lady left. This lady been here, left, came back. A $60 check. Can't speak English. A baby on her hip. Do the fucking math. She must have need this money under all circumstances. She need this $60 to get her through the weekend. Y'all don't see that shit? Y'all don't see that shit. That's why people don't like me. Because I go that extra mile in everything I do to support people. And the people around me can't stand that shit. They hate it. But how can you hate the God in somebody? How? And needless to say, I got that check cashed. Needless to say, it didn't bounce. Needless to say, I felt like a whole goddess. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was able to help this woman out with just, oh my God, people don't understand. And people hate you for being who you are. That's why when they just terminated me from that last job, I went out like a champ. I was like, okay. It hurt. And I cried the entire day. Not because I needed a job, even though I needed a job, or I wouldn't have took it. But because of what was taking place at the job, and I was nothing but good to the situation at hand, and I still got terminated. Didn't nobody hear me. Didn't nobody hear me out. Didn't nobody want to hear me out. Didn't nobody understand me, even though I the one that called the shots. Say, hey, this is what's going on. Who can I talk to? Oh, you need to go home. You the aggressor. And I understood that because I was loud and mad. But I wasn't being disrespectful or taking her out. I was literally talking like, why I gotta go home and she the one the problem. That's how it was. So I get why they was like, I'm the aggressor. Because it felt like I was aggressive to people that don't know me. I understand that. I take that. However, I wouldn't have been in a situation that rage if somebody wasn't bothering me. I'm not to be bothered. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Why is somebody bothering me and I'm doing everything that I need to do? They was so mad. Everybody that came in the door, I used to come. They used to walk in the door. I used to be like, hey, and people used to be like, hey. They was like, oh, you so beautiful. Oh, I love your vibe. And they were standing in the background looking like, damn, how she getting all these people to like her and we fucking hate her ass. They hated this shit. When I say they hated that shit, they hated that shit. They couldn't stand me for who I was, although I was a good person. But then everybody else that was around, they was talking about everybody that came in. They was making fun of people. They was looking at people like they were nasty, crazy, didn't have shit, and all this. And then they just don't understand their job can be snatched right from up under them right away. But they point fingers at the next person. You know, they making fun of the next person. Like your life can't turn upside down in the blink of an eye. And that wasn't my cup of tea. I was too positive in a negative situation. So they had to get rid of me. And when he called me and said he terminated me, it was just like, you thought you was going to keep your job. Actually, I already had gave my, because I wasn't fired when I was on live crying saying I was fired. When I was making the video, I wasn't yet fired. But in my heart, I already fired myself. If you could understand. I already took myself out the equation. I wasn't going back into that situation even if they told me I can keep my job. If they told me I can keep my job, I would have asked them, can they transfer me? Although I had already taken myself out the situation, I didn't think the outcome would be the outcome, although the outcome was an outcome. Because I ain't did nothing. You know, I ain't did nothing I ain't supposed to have did. Like, what? Like, what? So already, I had already said, fuck that job. Like, God got something better for me. It must wasn't meant for me. Because I went in that motherfucker and I showed my ass. I did everything I had to do. It must wasn't meant for me. And when something ain't meant for you, God will force you out of that situation. God would literally force you out of that situation. After that, I went to another setting. Another interview. Got passed. I had a 600 word question test, and I had a 45 question test. I made a 90 on one of them and an 85 on the other one. The passing score was 70. I passed with flying colors. Okay? I was so fucking excited, y'all. Boom. Something came back. In 2007. I never forget. On my record, nobody pulled this up ever. But the magnitude of the job that I was applying for or the interview I was in, because I passed it all. I did it all, y'all. I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself, I got sick to my stomach. Literally vomiting sick to my stomach. And then they came and said, unfortunately, Miss T, due to this charge that you got on your record in 2017 from assault to an officer, we can no longer move forward in your hiring process. Y'all, when I say I broke down. I broke down mentally. I didn't even shed a tear. In my head, I was like, it ain't no way God brought me all the way here just to count me out now. Like, what is going on in my life? I don't get it. But what God didn't mean for me to be in nobody's, but because all the information and everything there, y'all, I got like 9 pages of paperwork, y'all. I was in the door, y'all. Oh my God. Y'all. Oh my God. I cannot believe it. But y'all, the stuff sounding so good. They was already calling us officers and but God said, no, I don't want you in there, because they were telling us what we can't do. We got to change our whole lifestyle. We can't hang in certain places. We can't do certain things. And it was like, I don't want that type of control over my life. In my head, I was saying it, but And God said no, not